Hey everyone, and good Friday evening. Meteorologist Ethan Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center for our Friday edition of the First Alert 7:15 Weather Show, sponsored by Cost Saver. Got a lot to go into, but first of all, I want to let you know that we are live wherever you stream, whether it is fox19.com, the Fox 19 News, and First Alert weather apps. You also have ways to access through us on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. We're also live on Facebook on the Fox 19 Facebook page, as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX. And then we're also live on YouTube. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can go to our Facebook page and chime in. Let us know you're watching. We appreciate that. And of course, we appreciate this weather too. Behind me, a beautiful view of our Queensgate camera looking over towards the west end there. This is the Cincinnati Museum Center at Union Terminal, and light breeze out there, a lot of sunshine. The haze out there right now, it's just, I think, the camera angle, because the wildfire smoke we saw yesterday, not really here in the tri-state. It looks like that's further off to the south and west of us. But nonetheless, we are looking at quiet weather conditions here in the tri-state here this evening. So we've got a lot going on, and something I'm going to implement here, what I usually do on the 19 at 6 weekend weather show, is I normally give you a promise that I'm going to give you the forecast, the tonight, tomorrow, and 7-day. Don't want to, bury the lead. I don't want to waste your time. If you got things to do, there's a lot of events happening this weekend. So if you're tuning in, you want to know the skinny. You want to know the forecast of what to expect here. We've updated the forecast, and of course, I am going to give you that right now. That way you can see what we're expecting. So tonight's going to be clear, cool, crisp. Temperatures tonight will be dipping down into the upper 50s. A really nice night here on tap across the tri-state. So once the graphic wants to load, you'll be able to see that. And again, clear skies. No issues or concerns. So if you're heading over to any of those events here this evening, it's still pretty warm, but late tonight, so after 4 or 5 a.m., it might feel a little crisp, a little cool, as temperatures fall down to around 59 here at CVG. Other locations could break into the mid-50s late tonight. Tomorrow, most locations will be in the mid-80s. However, Cincinnati, a couple degrees warmer with an urban heat island effect with the buildings, up to 88. So a pretty warm day on tap to start the first half of the weekend. But the 7-day forecast does bring in the chance for some showers and thunderstorms going into Sunday evening. In fact, models are pushing it to be a little bit later and later, which is encouraging if you got any rest of the weekend plans to do. But we've got high temperatures in the upper 80s for your Sunday, morning lows in the mid-60s. Monday, 84, more widespread scattered shower and storm activity. Same goes for your Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, also some lingering pop-up chances, mainly for the afternoon hours. But otherwise, it'll be hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s, and then morning lows in the low 70s. So looking at the coolest day, the 7-day forecast, going to be Monday. So again, this is just a quick forecast update for those of you who might need to, get back into doing some outdoor chores, going to any of those events. I don't want to waste your time, but we appreciate those of you who stay with us here for the 7:15 weather show, sponsored by Cost Saver. So again, we're going to go ahead and dive into what we're experiencing out there when you head outside. And again, a beautiful view out there, a lot of sunshine. In fact, what we're going to do now is pull up another camera, and I want to take a look at the Facebook page, just make sure that we are on live there, as well as on my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX. So we're going to pull this up behind me while I am looking there. I'll begin looking at the Fox 19 Facebook page. Don't have any comments there yet. And I'm looking at my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX to see if got any folks chiming in there. Not yet. Okay, cool. Got a couple of likes though. Appreciate those. So we'll go ahead and move right along here. The beautiful view behind me is from our tower camera here or over towards Fairmount, looking towards downtown. Our building is over in here. Actually, you just can't see it here, just not quite on that camera, but it's a beautiful view nonetheless. You can actually see the screen here way off. It's really hard to tell on this screen, but they're actually Cincinnati Music Festival actually showing some stuff there at Paycor. So it could be a pretty rockin' night there over towards the banks. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the smoke, the haze that we saw yesterday, that was part of the wildfire smoke. In fact, wildfires are ongoing for much of the Pacific Northwest. It's actually stretching from central and northern California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and to Alberta and British Columbia, dealing with wildfires there. And this pink here is that heavy wildfire smoke, very thick, and up into northern Alberta, and then also down to the high plains into portions of the Great Lakes region. This was on Tuesday evening. We played this forward in time, and we saw that hazy, smoky conditions yesterday afternoon as part of that cold front. The cold front, this is on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Here's where that cold front was. The smoke was kind of following that trail with that sinking air behind the cold front. And so this was yesterday evening. Now, since then, that smoke has further moved off to the south and west. So no issues for us, but it is still bringing in some smoky conditions for folks over towards Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa. Now, the forecast model for the smoke for us does not appear to be an issue for the next couple of days. So again, this is a forecast model. So Saturday, we're looking fine. The blue is okay. The blue is, I think part of this model data is having a hard time with also the high thin clouds. There's a lot of things with models that you have to take into consideration. For us, the only issues would be anything from a light green or yellowish color onward on the thing right here, the legend. But when it comes to the blue, not a concern. So we're going to play this forward. This is going into Saturday. Again, not seeing much of anything. We go into Sunday, and I think part of this that's showing up on Sunday afternoon is the cloud cover moving in. That's also going to bring in the rain chances that are going to be present with us Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. And the thing is that that's the wildfire smoke that moved through yesterday evening was not much of an issue because the air quality was only at moderate. So yeah, moderate. A small number of people who are unusually sensitive may have a few health concerns where folks who might have extreme issues with lung or heart issues, really young children, less than 2 years old, or really elderly people who may have those unusually sensitive conditions. That's where the only issues really lied in. But moderate air quality is not really uncommon in the summertime here in the tri-state. Even on the hot days with no wildfire smoke, you could still have moderate conditions because of smog or because of ozone levels, particulate matter. So moderate is not all that uncommon for us here in the tri-state. But just wanted to show this to you. That way, if you were concerned about the air quality with that smoke, it wasn't a huge issue in that regard. In fact, I want to show you the radar and satellite imagery coming in from the west. So this is Pacific Northwest. Really wild to see this. You can see some of the wildfire smoke here. You can see it over in, that may not be quite it, over towards, I want to say it's in eastern Iowa, or eastern Oregon rather. There's some wildfire smoke here. There's some wildfire smoke into Washington right here as well. And there were some here over towards Idaho, but it could be covered up by these clouds. And there are also some up in Canada, though it's also covered up by clouds, so it might be a little bit hard to see that. Not to mention the satellite imagery does get cut off towards Edmonton. But I'm trying to see if we could see any. No, I don't see any wildfire smoke on this, but of course the cloud cover makes it really challenging to be able to see it if it was occurring in these areas towards Calgary or not near Vancouver, but up in that direction. So that's causing the issues when it comes to the wildfire smoke further off to the north and west, and also the heat and the dry air that's going to be out there in the coming weeks is going to be a concern to keep an eye on those wildfire conditions further off to the west. But for us in the tri-state, things are dry. In fact, temperatures right now are actually beginning to cool down a bit. So we're already in the upper 70s for folks over towards Batesville, Connorsville, my hometown in Hillsborough. Everyone else in the lower 80s. The warmest spot right now over towards Florence at 83. but everyone else has begun to get a little bit cooler. Now the dew points. This is what you not always see. It tends to happen behind cold fronts, which is the case for us today. But the dew points in the mid-50s for late July. That's pretty nice. And so if you like the lower humidity, get out and enjoy it. It feels very comfortable when you step outside. And I wish I could work outside here this evening. That'd be wonderful. It'd be a treat, wouldn't it? Winds out there right now are around 5 to 10 miles per hour. The winds are going to remain rather light going into this evening and tonight. Sorry I keep swallowing. I've been having some dinner, so trying to multitask here. Got a lot to work on here this evening and tonight, and also got my Diet Mountain Dew. So in the Fox 19 First Alert weather app, I will say there's magic on TV. If you see me swipe, that's just me knowing when this is going to move. And you can see behind me that I am not controlling this other than just clicking a button. But we are looking at temperatures this evening going to be falling into the 70s by 8 o'clock. Sunset tonight at 8:56. And then heading into tonight, clear skies. Temperatures will be dipping down in those upper 50s. 59 officially our low here in Cincinnati that we can expect. And then tomorrow, we're warming up to a high of 88 degrees. So very warm, a lot of sunshine, but we're not looking at anything humid. So it's going to be warm tomorrow. You're going to sweat if you're outside for a period of time, but it's not going to be to the point where you're going to be feeling exhausted, as opposed to if it was a lot more humid. And again, there are just so many different events, whether you're going to Get a Fest, whether you're going to Cincinnati Music Festival. There's also Sharon Fest that's still continuing tomorrow as well. The Cincy Soul Food Fest is happening tomorrow as well. And I mean, there's just so much. We're really fortunate to live in an area like this that has so many events. And again, here's our forecast model. So we go into tonight. Morning lows in those 50s. So tonight, hey, I want to be the kind of person who's going to have my windows open, let that nice fresh air in, and really just take advantage of it because, hey, it saves money on the AC. It allows more fresher air to go into your home. And then also on top of that, it's just nice. I love being able to fall asleep and hearing tree frogs and just that nice, quiet, peaceful nature sound. And so be able to take full advantage of that tonight. We go into Saturday, and a lot of clear skies in the morning. And Saturday's going to be what we call a diurnally driven heat day. And what do I mean by that? Well, tonight is a diurnal cooling effect taking place. And I don't have a graphic to explain it, but I'm going to try to explain it the best I can using my hands. And at night, when you have clear skies, calm winds, the heating of the day, the surface, nice and warm from that sunshine, the warm air, you know. But at night, when it's clear and calm, that heat is going to radiate and eventually escape into the exosphere. And what we're left behind with is cooler air. So tomorrow morning, if you're waking up going for a morning run, maybe you're going to the Queen City 5K, there's going to be some dew on the grass just because of this. The winds are not going to be very strong. In fact, they're very light. So when you have calm winds, that heat escapes much faster and allows temperatures to drop much faster. And so that's why the morning lows are going to be so cool or crisp or whatever you want to describe it, upper 50s. Now tomorrow during the day, the winds are not going to be all that strong. There's going to be some winds because when you have sunshine, that allows the cool morning air. When you have the surfaces heating up, that cooler is forced to lift. And when you have that, you get some mixing, which allows some wind. And so tomorrow is what we call a diurnally heated day, where the temperature is going to rise up because of the sun purely, not necessarily because of any winds or warm air advecting into the tri-state. I'm using a lot of words, and I'm sorry, but that's what I mean. Tomorrow's going to be a really nice day. Humidity is not going to be a major factor for us. But we go into Saturday night into Sunday, clouds will begin to increase, mid to upper level clouds. And then Sunday, if you got any outdoor plans, keep them. Don't cancel them. Because you're going to be okay, I think, for most of us. There's a caveat to that, and you'll see here in a moment. So Sunday afternoon, this is noon, temperatures already getting up into those low to mid 80s. We go into tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon and evening. You see a lot more thicker cloud cover. Now this model, it has some issues here and there, but I'm showing it because I think it's bringing up a really good point. Still see some rain chances. It dries out a lot through here, and I don't fully buy that. But I've been really pushing this point that it's been clear. It's been comfortable with those low dew points in the 50s. That's dry air, a lot of dry air. And when you have this system coming in out of the south and west, it's overcoming that dry air. It takes energy to saturate an atmosphere. And so when this is moving in, it's going to lose some of that ground. So I'll play it back real quick. And you see more of that green there towards the Louisville Metro. As it arrives here, it has to combat that drier air. Now, again, I think this is a little bit more dry than it needs to be, but it is bringing home the point that, yeah, it's not going to be any kind of widespread, very heavy rain event Sunday afternoon. Now, we go into Sunday night. So after sunset, I do think we're going to look at a bit more widespread activity moving in. And this model, again, it's not handling it very well. But we go into Monday, and I do think Monday we are looking at more wet conditions. There we go, Ethan. We can do grammar. But we are looking at more rain activity moving in Monday and in much of next week. And we will do more of that, talk more about that here in a moment. But for now, I want to take a look at our Facebook comments and see if we have any kind of questions there. We'll begin with our Fox 19 Facebook page. And hey, no comments. Everyone must be busy outside. I don't blame them a bit. Take a look at my Facebook page, at Ethan Emery WX. And no comments there. We got some likes, though. Appreciate those. And on the Fox 19 Facebook page, couple of reactions. We appreciate those as well. But hey, it's a Friday. What do you expect, right? So we've got this forecast of daily rain chances beginning Monday. So Sunday evening has the rain chance, sure, but better opportunities really move in Monday. Monday morning, we're looking at rain here in the tri-state. So here is one particular forecast model. This one fairly does a decent job, though I do think it is overdoing some of Sunday's afternoon activity. So we go into Sunday night into Monday. Here you have it. We've got more moisture working its way through. Notice how it goes from green to red, indicating a big disparity between light rain and heavy rain. So heavy downpours appear to be very likely in any shower storm that does develop. So again, Monday morning and Monday afternoon pose a threat for this potential for locally heavy rainfall. In fact, the Weather Prediction Center agrees with me on this. And what I'm going to do now is pull up a map. We don't always show it. I like to show it whenever sometimes models aren't the best at demonstrating or illustrating something like this. And that is here we are. So what we're going to do now is turn my attention to this graphic. And the Weather Prediction Center have these things called excessive rainfall outlooks. And these outlooks are very similar to the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlooks. And what these indicate are the potential for flash flooding or localized flooding. So what I'm going to do is begin with Sunday. And for us on Sunday, if I can pull up the file, this would be here. So we do have a marginal risk. So even though that moisture is having to combat against the drier air, the Weather Prediction Center folks still think that there is a potential for maybe some localized flooding. Considering the atmosphere, that's the drastic change, I don't disagree with it wholeheartedly, but I do think the better opportunities for some localized flooding really come in Monday and Tuesday. You'll see what I mean here in just a moment. This is Monday, so let me go ahead and switch the text box to Monday. So Monday has that risk of localized flooding. Now granted, it has the slight risk further off to the south and east, where there's the more higher terrain, over towards southeast Ohio, much of West Virginia, and eastern Kentucky. And again, this is Monday. And for the majority of the Fox 19 Now viewing area, we have a marginal risk, but our southeastern counties do have a slight risk attached with that. So that's Monday. Now let's look at Tuesday. Let me go ahead and switch that map behind me. And I'm showing this for a reason. I'm showing you that the next few days, starting on Sunday night, I'm going to say Sunday night, I think that chance really increases, that we're looking at that risk for localized flooding, because these showers and storms that develop don't have a lot of forcing to work with. What do they have to work with? They got heat, they got humidity, and they got enough storm energy to allow these storms to fire up. And the biggest threat, I think, is going to be next week is the potential for flooding here in the Tri-State. So that is the excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. I wanted to show you that because I think it does a pretty good job at demonstrating the odds of seeing the potential for localized flooding. So let's go back to this map. So here's Monday morning. Monday morning, very heavy rain potentially, especially looks like to our southeast, which models have been kind of pointing at that. That's why the slight risk of excessive rainfall is over those locations for Monday. So that's Monday morning. And again, this is going to be scattered. So it's not going to be a continuous rain. We need a continuous rain, of course, but we don't quite have that. We have these scattered on and off showers and thunderstorms, and at any point, they're going to pose the risk of this heavy rainfall. So Monday morning, I think, looks pretty wet. We go into Monday afternoon into Monday evening. So this is around 4 or 5 o'clock. You can see we have some of that dark shade of green showing up, especially for the 2/3 east of the Fox 19 Now viewing area. So pretty much southwest Ohio and portions of northern Kentucky. Southeast Indiana, not so much, according to this particular model. So we go to Tuesday. Tuesday also scattered showers and storms. So this model, it's a little all over the place. And in fact, I will say this model has been rather inconsistent with Tuesday, but other models I've been looking at do show this consistency of widespread rain on Tuesday. That being said, this is one of those patterns, just like this past week, where any shower or storm that develops are going to kind of develop wherever they want. They're going to develop in what we call boundary layers or boundary lines. And these boundary layers, they act like fronts. They don't really bring in warm or cooler air. There's not a lot of forcing with them, but they do present some energy to them that allow these cells to fire up along those lines. And that's what we had this past week. And this is going to be kind of the case this upcoming week as well. And they're going to be kind of these pop-up variety showers and thunderstorms that move along those lines. They can develop what we call outflow boundaries, which are kind of these gust fronts or these lines of breezy conditions. But they don't really pose the risk of severe weather. In fact, I don't see any risk of severe weather for us in this forecast because, again, there's just not a lot of forcing with this pattern. The only thing that I would want to keep an eye on, and in this case, Wednesday and Thursday might be the days that you might want to pay attention to in the forecast, would be something we call MCSs, or clusters of storms. Now, I'm not forecasting one to be here, but the pattern does favor that potential. And what are those? Well, what are those are the multi-convective systems. And what those are is this kind of cluster of showers and storms. They kind of move at their own pace. They're also called ridge riders. And models are hinting that in our region, we could potentially see one Wednesday or Thursday. Now, the location of those things, you have to look at more data. You have to wait until we get a little bit closer. This is really far out. This is almost a week out. And so with that, there's a lot of uncertainty at hand. So my point is, of bringing that up, is that if any day does have the potential to see stronger storms, it would be Wednesday or Thursday. Do I foresee that right now? No. Right now, it looks like those clusters miss us. But that being said, things can change. The pattern can easily change and could provide us with that potential for maybe some of those clusters of storms to move into the tri-state. So right now, just keep on guard with that, but we're not looking at any kind of severe weather outbreak potential here in our forecast to come. So we'll take a look at that 7-day forecast, and what we're going to do now is look at those temperatures, and then once we do this, we'll take a look at any kind of comments or questions on our Facebook page. If we don't have those, we'll move along to the Outlook, and then after that, we'll conclude this broadcast. So, 7-day forecast, Saturday morning, pleasant. Morning low of 59, a warm afternoon high of 88 with sunshine. Sunday morning, a bit more warm in the morning, 66. Sunday afternoon, a high of 89. Afternoon and evening, chances for showers and thunderstorms. Though I showed you the models, a lot of places will be rather dry for Sunday during the day, but Sunday night does pose the risk for more widespread activity, and that'll continue into Monday. Monday's high is a little bit hampered because of the clouds and the rain. High of 84 after a morning low of 69. Tuesday, also scattered showers and storms. A morning low of 71, afternoon high of 86. And then we're looking at this pattern to continue more on the widely scattered notion of just these, most of the day rather dry, but these pop-up chances for showers and storms do move in. And that's going to allow for temperatures to be a little bit warmer, hence why I have a high of 91 Thursday and a 90 on Friday with morning lows in the low 70s. So, with that being said, look at Facebook to see if we have some comments. And we do have a couple of comments. Sarah says, "Hey, Ethan." Chelsea says, "I'm happy with any rain." I'm with you 100%, Chelsea. Mandy asks, "Do you think we have any severe weather?" Right now, I do not see any threat of strong or severe storms right now. If any day has that potential, I think it's going to be Wednesday and Thursday. If any of those days have the potential for maybe a stronger gust of wind, maybe those days. And I say that because what I mentioned just a little bit ago is that the pattern favors the potential for ridge riders in the region. However, the placement of those ridge riders are really tricky. MCSs to forecast for are extremely challenging. But if we see those in this region, those chances could go up. Right now, the chances are really low, but it's not zero. And Chelsea also asked about winds in this forecast. Well, Sunday we could see a breezy gust, maybe around 20, 25 miles per hour, but I don't foresee any wind gusts that are going to be posing the risk of anything strong or severe at this time. In fact, Sunday, I was looking at some different model analysis, what we call SKU-Ts, which looks at the atmosphere like a layer and kind of like a layer cake. So you look at it from the ground all the way up to the upper levels of the atmosphere. And I do not foresee anything that even looks remotely close to potential stronger storms. It looks like we're looking at a lot of cloud cover, looking at some rain, maybe some thunder and lightning. And the breezy conditions, again, gusts maybe 20, 25 miles per hour at best, as it stands right now. All right. Molly says, "Hello, Ethan. We do need the rain. Our pond needs a good fill up. What was a beautiful sunny Friday?" Yeah, it was beautiful out there, Molly. And I do think the rain we see in the next week, beginning Sunday night through Friday, could help some folks. Not everyone's going to see those good soaking heavy rains. The problem is going to be, with when I say the potential for localized flooding, is the fact that the soil may not be able to take all this moisture all at once. So it's not the best form of water that we need, but it's going to certainly be a blessing for some. But yeah, no, today was beautiful. And after this, I might go outside for a little bit to enjoy this pleasant air. Marion says they're on my Facebook page. Always Trust 19. Thank you. We appreciate you trusting us. Okay, so I believe that is all the comments we've caught up with. So now what we'll do is take a look at the temperature outlooks. And tonight I will show the beyond the 7-day forecast. I have not filled in for Steve, I think, ever. So I forgot about that time frame. So normally we show the 8 to 14 day temperature forecast that we provide. And I just forgot. So that's my bad. But I can show you this. The Climate Prediction Center's outlook with temperatures falls in line with what I've been saying. Temperatures look to be above normal. Highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Lows in the upper 60s and low 70s. Looks to continue through the first week of August. And with that, moisture is present, but it's not in the order of anything widespread. So with that, I want to check something real quick. Okay, this is correct. Cool. So yeah, just above normal precipitation, but this is because of this pattern we're setting in. We're looking at some areas seeing some rain, a lot of places not so much, so the confidence is not super high with the outlook showing a lot of green over us. It has some green, but not a lot. And then going to the middle of August, temperatures still look to be near or above normal. So again, highs in the 80s, perhaps some low 90s, lows in the 60s, and maybe some low 70s through the middle of August. And with that, rain chances still holding on, but it is not appearing to be enough. Let's just put it that way. And with that, it's much better than extended periods of drought, which we don't foresee. But we still need the rain, absolutely. But it's not looking to be of major concern. Is it a concern? Yes, because we need the rain and it affects gardeners, agriculture, things like that. But does it look to be something prolonged all the way through fall? No. In fact, what I just showed you is an indication of, yes, we're looking at some chances of rain continuing through the middle of August, kind of like this pattern. Nothing that's going to be substantial, but it could be enough to relieve some locations here in the Fox 19 Now viewing area. So we've been going on for 30 minutes, and I believe I'm going to wrap this up here soon. I got to get some work done and finish my dinner. Molly says, good night for a fire pit. I wholeheartedly agree. I love having a good bonfire. In fact, if I had this evening off, I probably would be at my dad's over in Highland County, enjoying with him. So I'm sure he's out enjoying it, probably burning some brush or maybe taking care of some stuff outside. But anyway, that will do it for us here for our Friday edition of the First Alert 7:15 weekday evening weather show. Mouthful. Not used to doing this show. But anyway, we are going to be talking more on this forecast at 10 o'clock. Might make some tweaks if I see any new changes in the data. And of course, if you miss us at 10 o'clock, you can always watch us anytime, anywhere on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. Also on fox19.com/weather. And of course, if you missed the newscast entirely this evening, you can wake up with meteorologist Ashley Smith on her news schedule, beginning at 7 a.m. on Fox 19. And of course, she has her weather show that is at 11 a.m., just like this, anywhere you stream here on Fox 19. So again, thank you all so much. Have a great, safe weekend. Looking forward to seeing some of you folks maybe tomorrow night on 19 at 6 on my weekend weather show. But again, thank you all so much. Have a great Friday evening.